Hello everybody and welcome to Mr. Simpson's Storytime Day 26. Now we have a classic for you today. It's one of my old favourites and it is Cinderella. I hope you really enjoy it. Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a kind and lovely girl called Cinderella. Cinderella had to clean the house all day long. She had no nice clothes and was covered in dust and dirt from working in the kitchen. But worst of all, poor Cinderella lived with her stepmother and two mean stepsisters. Cinderella lived in a country ruled by a king, and that king had a son who was a good and gentle prince.
"But it's time you got married," said the king. "I'll give a grand ball so you can meet all the young ladies in the land."
And the next day, an invitation arrived at Cinderella's house. "To the ladies of the house, the king invites you to a royal ball with dancing and ice cream at the palace. Please wear your very finest ball gown." Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters were all very excited.
"The prince is sure to fall in love with one of you,"
said the stepmother.
"Oh, wonderful."
They made so much noise that Cinderella came in from the kitchen. "May I go to the ball?" she asked.
"Don't be silly, Cinderella. The prince would never marry you,"
said her stepmother. After everyone had left to go to the palace, Cinderella cried and cried because she really wanted to go to the ball herself. As Cinderella sobbed by the fire, a friendly-looking lady suddenly appeared. "I am your fairy godmother," she said. "I am here to make your dream come true. Come into the garden with me." Out in the moonlit garden, the fairy godmother quickly got to work. "We need 3 mice and a pumpkin, Cinderella. Please, bring them to me." With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother turned the pumpkin into a beautiful carriage. 2 mice became prancing horses, and the 3rd mouse became a coachman. Cinderella's ragged clothes became a beautiful ball gown, and glass slippers appeared on her dusty feet. Cinderella was very happy, but her fairy godmother had a warning for her. "The magic only lasts until midnight," she said. "You must be home by then." Cinderella rode to the palace in her magnificent carriage. As Cinderella entered the ballroom, everyone turned to look at her. "She looks familiar," said the stepsisters. "I'm sure we've seen her somewhere before." Straight away, the prince asked Cinderella to dance. Cinderella and the prince danced all night long. But Cinderella had forgotten her fairy godmother's warning. Suddenly, the clock struck midnight. "Oh no!" cried Cinderella. "I must go!" As Cinderella ran from the ballroom, one of her glass slippers fell off. The prince picked it up. "I will marry the girl whose foot fits this shoe," he said. Moments later, Cinderella's carriage turned back into a pumpkin, and the horses and coachmen became mice again. Cinderella found herself wearing her ragged clothes once more. The prince searched for Cinderella for weeks and months. At last, he arrived at Cinderella's house. Her stepsisters tried to push their feet into the glass slipper, but it did not fit. Then, Cinderella looked in from the kitchen. "Would you please bring the shoe over here so I can try it on?" she said. Cinderella's foot slipped easily into the slipper. "It's a perfect fit," she said. "I knew I'd find you in the end," cried the prince. The prince and Cinderella had a wonderful wedding. Even Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters were invited. And Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after. Thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed Cinderella, and I will see you tomorrow for another great story.